One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning, everyone. SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Global. And wow, what a wonderful weekend here in Columbus, Ohio. We had the privilege of hosting the 20-something anniversary iteration of the Circle of Love Gathering. You've been hearing us talk about it for, several months. And this morning was the culmination of one of the richest, talk about a condensed version that's going to keep on giving. It reminds me of growing up in the summers. You would get those condensed lemon blends in the gallon, and you could make lemon blend. Yeah, the concentrated version of the Circle of Love. So what we are going to do is take this concentration of love. When we were just in the wrap up, we were just talking about what we brought with us and what we want to take away. And everybody, the most important thing is that we're going to be taking pieces of this self, this particle waveform of infinity, this cluster of atoms called you, out to the world, but it's going to be with a little more light and a lot more light. We're going to amplify the light, amplify the love. And each one of us took away something. Mine was to learn how to slow down a little bit. Slow down. And that's kind of been the thing, So think about this morning, we're going to be talking a little bit more bleeding into the talk for today about the Alchemy of Light. I'm so privileged to have Reverend David Leonard, my co-creator of the Circle of Love Gathering. He's just brilliant, and some friends from Huntsville, Alabama, and from Philadelphia. Every time I think of Philadelphia, this is like going way off the script here. There is no script. I think of Shaka Khan came to Pittsburgh one time, and when you're on tour, you just don't know. I'm looking at Natalia, yes. You don't know really where you are sometimes. And she came out onto the stage and she said, "Hello, Philadelphia," in Pittsburgh, and it didn't go over very well. Bring me a higher. Sorry, Shaka, you blew it up. But let everybody know you're in the room this morning. This is Excellent. So we are here this morning. If you have time to drive out to Delaware, don't speed through Worthington, but try to get yourselves out here to the Dempsey Retreat Center, the Dempsey Event Center. It's gorgeous. We're going to be here on Wednesday evening in the sanctuary space with our live kirtan group, kirtan chanting. We've got papers typed up with lyric sheets so you don't have to feel left out if you want to know what you're singing. And then you can just sing from the heart. But what a fabulous, isn't this place amazing? Yes. Yeah, it's a sacred ground situation. So it helps to percolate. I'm smelling the coffee percolating. It's all about the food. Everybody knows me, it's about the food. But this morning we're going to start SoulCall the way we start, with the joy, but also bringing in that light. The recognition that we are light. We come from light, and it's the light that helps us to remember. And so we're going to bring Sifu Helen Yi up to create that Qigong experience. So if you're in the room, if you can find some space to practice Qigong, come on, Helen. That's as good as it's going to get. That's the best intro I got for you, babe. Welcome, Helen. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a high-vibing group we have this morning and this whole weekend. So thank you, much appreciation, Lisa, Reverend David. And let's just go ahead and calm our minds. Take a deep breath in. We all know we have the potential to increase that life force energy within us. This is the practice of Qigong. So from here, I want you to place your palms on the lower dantian, connect with that battery center within our bodies, and just feel your breath going in and out. Now go ahead and relax your arms, relax your shoulders, and bend your wrist slightly so that you're opening the Lao points in the palms, connecting to the earth yin energies, drawing it into your body like a magnet. Feel it coming into the shoulders, into the meridian pathways, all along the different places and spaces within. Feel that vibration. And now turning your palms upward, floating your arms up, connecting to that yang energy through the heavenly sky, bringing it in, swirling it, and beaming it right into the byway, the opening of the central meridian channel pathway. From here, see that golden light of Qi coming into the body, guiding it down, relaxing the elbows, relaxing the shoulders. See it as the golden light. Visualize it nurturing and nourishing all the trillions of the cells in your body. Feel it coming into the eyes, into your brain, into your mouth. Feel it absorbing into the bone marrow where your blood cells are produced. Feel it going into your lymph and all the other bodily systems, coming into the organs. Continue to bring it down, pushing out any impurities, any blockages, any stagnation. Continue to push it out into the earth. And from here, gathering the Qi in this direction, feel all the particles of the Qi between your arms and hands, allowing your mind to focus and be aware of this energy. Continue to focus the mind here between the hands. Now see those particles of Qi getting smaller and more concentrated between your hands into a powerful, more vibrant Qi ball. Now slowly guide that Qi energy into the lower dantian, which is the battery center of your body. Go ahead and feel it absorbing in, squeezing the perineum, guide it in, and now bringing your arms out and down. Continue to carry this feeling with you throughout the day. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Helen. Can you feel that tingling in the trillions of cells in your body? We've got a very special musical treat for you this morning. Natalia Zuckerman is with us, and also my dear friend, many years, Jack Fowler. We've known each other since we were like 8, so it's like 20-some years now.
Elementary school.
Elementary school, first day, first grade, we shared a sandwich.
She liked deviled ham.
So I'm going to turn this over. We're going to take that beauty, that joy, the bubbles of laughter in ourselves into a deep meditation, and Jack's going to lead us into it with a song called In the Silence, which you've heard, but he's actually the person who wrote this song. And here he is, Jackie.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there is release. From a world full of chaos and noise, so I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there is release. From a world full of chaos and noise, so I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find
in this holy silence, we open up to the infinite divine beloved, the one who lights our speech, lights our breath, lights our thoughts, our actions, co-creates this world, this journey with us. Oh, infinite, we know, and we draw this life, this privilege, this opportunity for loving and living directly from the source of all love. The source is the force. We are your divine expressions. May we always remember our true connection. Swami Sri Yukteswar says, it's in fact a vain idea to think of separation from you, from it at all. When we need to remember, may we find our way to the silence within. May we close our eyes, close our ears, and withdraw to our sacred center, the source of all love. I bless each and every one of us here today in physical form, those of you joining us from as far as Africa, California, Canada, and points in between and around. Let us know where you're joining us from in consciousness. But in truth, we are always connected in love. I give great thanks for the comfort this knowing brings. I say thank you, O infinite beloved. Om Shanti. Peace. Amen.
So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said and right in this holy silence. I find God. I We are held in hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love, like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace. We are held recollection from a mother's warm embrace that I held in hands of grace. We are held in the
Jack Fowler, everyone. Where'd she go? Oh. Let's hear it for Jack Fowler. Hello. Where can we find your music, Jack?
Come see me after this.
Okay. No, I mean, for the people who are watching, Jack Fowler.
Yeah, for people that are watching, the best thing to do is go to my Facebook page, right? That Jack Fowler music. You can find it easily, and I have a big community there that we talk and chat. And so that's the best place and quickest way to join me. Just Google, go to Facebook, Google me. Now there is another Jack Fowler that doesn't sing. He sings drunk, literally.
Okay.
That's it. So don't find him.
I think we'll know the difference. All right. So Jack Fowler, let's hear it one more time for Jack. All right. Let us know where you're joining us from this morning. And I'm so privileged to have, like I said before, Reverend David Leonard in the house with us today. And he's going to offer the talk based on an inspiration of the Alchemy of Light and what we've been experiencing this past weekend. And may it spill over. I just want to call, I can see behind me these beautiful mandalas from Kathy Roush, our mandala lady. As we're in here enjoying this space, she's just so like a little child coloring in what's left of the group mandala that we co-created here together. And maybe we'll bring it out and show it at the end of the program. How about that? She was like, what are we going to do with the mandala? I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, the mandala, of course. So we can show you what we've been up to, co-creating some art together. We start with the heart and then we bring it out. But right now, it's time for, please welcome David Leonard.
Thank you, my beloved. Thank you. This is such an honor to be here. What a sacred space we've created. And, it's all light and love. One of the threads, there's a beautiful idea that you catch the thread of truth, and there's so many threads. And one of them that I heard from the Sufi lineage is that we come here with light and we come here with love. And then when we leave this plane of action, we take the light with us, but we leave the love behind. And so just playing with that idea, explore this invisible something. And my Sufi teacher, Llewellyn Bontlee, said, he wrote a beautiful book called The Alchemy of Light and Awakening the World. And he said, it's imperative at this time on the planet that we awaken the light within us, and then we awaken the light within the world, the anima mundi. And he says there's the lumina Dei, which is the light of God. I love it, Helen called it a yang energy, or yang. And then there is the lumina naturae, which is the light within nature. I guess that would be the yin. And so when the light of the beloved comes together with the light of this world that we live in, we experience a sense of oneness. And then you can realize this thread has been throughout history. Sri Aurobindo said, put on the mind of light. And he says, and when you begin to see through an illumined perception, everything changes. In fact, the root word for receive also is affecting the word perceive. So when we receive this higher vibrational field of awareness, our perception changes. And we no longer see things as other, as my beloved Rup would say, we see them, it's all yourself. And then you hear Ram Dass say, everything that you encounter in this life is here for your transformation, so use it. A young man was saying here, after this experience, he feels intoxicated on love. I said, well, that's the tavern of love that Rumi speaks about. And so when you come here, you get drunk on this experience of life and love. It's powerful. And then the challenge is to go back in a world that's kind of congealed and congested and tight and opinionated and to say, but we're all one. Well, the world can't really handle that. So you're rather selective on how you approach the world. I was sharing with the group here, when I would leave these spiritual conferences, I would be so intoxicated with the love, I'd be hugging the TSA people. And they'd say, what's going on? And then I went to a restaurant and I'd see everybody shut down in their shadow self, and I'd start to cry. They don't know that they're light and love, they're just asleep. So you might experience a little bit of that. But you know, the grace is that we came here to have this transformational experience. And once you offer yourself on the altar of life, well, then don't be surprised when life takes you into itself and shifts your perception. So in this growth experience that we're all having, and Sri Aurobindo talks about this moving into the mind of light, he said it's all about involution and evolution. And we are here to evolve on planet Earth into an awareness, and this is what Llewellyn concludes his book, Spiritual Ecology, with, to realize that everything is sacred. And when you see it all as sacred, well, then you don't separate yourself from it. Remember, there's only one life. That life is God's life, that life is perfect, and that life is our life. So there's a shift that takes place within consciousness, and then can we live from that place? It's not about a concept, it's about a deep knowing. You know, the great Rabbi Jesus, his greatest work was, for me, called the Gospel of Thomas. He never, these are just the logians or the sayings of him. And it's really profound. The Christian churches don't accept it. So of course I would absolutely love it. And the very first logian, he said, in all your seeking, he says, seek until you find. And he says, and when you find, you'll be greatly disturbed. And when you are greatly disturbed, you'll be filled with awe and wonder. And when you're filled with awe and wonder, you will have dominion over your world. Let those who have ears to hear, hear. Now, he says it's time to start discovering. It's time to start going within and discovering, who am I? What is this thing that is calling me to a greater fulfillment? He also says in the Gospel of Thomas, if you liberate that which is within you, that which is within you will save you. That's the beloved, that's the presence of your soul. If you do not liberate that which is within you, he said, that which is within you will destroy you. Ooh, I kind of backed up with that one. But then when I stopped reacting, I said, what is that is within me that longs to be revealed? And it was divine love. And I shared with the group, I live by one simple mantra that Ernest Holmes gave me, the founder of Science of Mind. He says, and I use this in all my wedding ceremonies, and I live my life by it. He says, divine love will bring together and maintain together those who belong together. And obviously, I belong with beloved Lisa and Jack. It was 20 years ago. Jack reminded me, it was 2002. We did our first thing at Simpsonwood. So I guess this is our 20th anniversary, Miss Lisa. That's my dog, Bert. He may come through the talk because he lives in me. So just know that I'm permeable to spirit, and that's just the way it is. Someone came up after church one Sunday, Lisa, and they said, I think the dog thing is too much. You need to expurge it from your talks. It diminishes. Oh, you're going to tell me you're not going to allow me into your talks anymore? And you know how Bert infused himself in my soul was when we were up in Maine, and Bert was really old, and I get a phone call at 6 a.m. That's when people call you. And they said, it's time to put him down. And they said, they put the phone to his ear, and I'm speaking in Maine. And I said, Bert, you know I'll always be there for you, and you'll always be there for me. And we were so close. I mean, he got so fragile at the end. I would carry him up and down the steps. I would lie next to him and stroke his face. And he was this gentle soul. He took care of the whole household. Baby Speck was the traumatic dog. He would sit there and lick her ears and her eyes and tend her. And he tended the pug. He'd lick his armpits because the pugs are a little bit more foul with the creases in the face. He'd lick his ears. And so when Bert left, who's going to clean the animals? I mean, you got to take care of that pug. It's kind of a thing. And so we're praying up there in Maine when we know the dastardly deed, or he's going to leave his body. And then all of a sudden, up running from the beach comes a dog that looks just like Baby Speck. Basically saying, well, I'm here. And since then he embodies things, and he comes and he shows up, and this is the mystery of life. It's so much bigger than what you could ever perceive. And so when you begin to shift into this universal consciousness, life to me gets richer and more beautiful and sacred. And you begin to see the patterns on the energy. One of my very first spiritual teachers was a little old lady. She was maybe 90 years old, and I'm a brand new minister. And she comes up to the new minister, and she was all kind of arthritic. And she says, watch the patterns on the energy. Helen, watch the patterns on the energy. And I went, what is she talking about? And now I watch the patterns on the energy, and that was this beautiful Qi experience that you gave us. And I'm going to share in a few minutes a beautiful prayer that I put into my body years ago when someone said prayer shouldn't be just something that is hollow, it needs to be embodied. And so they gave me this realization, and this is the energy, and I'm going to give this to Helen Yi. Yi? Yes, as a gift for you. And maybe it's time because it came up. There was one of my colleagues, he was in South America at a prison, and he was teaching the prisoners how to pray. And so in our teaching, Science of Mind, we have a scientific prayer. And the prayer is really simple. It's scientific, but it's very powerful. You recognize that there's only one life, one power in the universe. That's the first step. Then you unify with it. If there's only one life, it's only the Sat, well, the Sat's everywhere revealing itself. So you take the one life, you embody it, and then you realize something that's deep and profound, and then you give thanks for it, and when you give thanks for it, you're an embodiment of it, and then you release it out into the world because it's not yours to have. It's yours to share. It's yours to express. And remember, the soul longs to express its true nature, where the ego wants to impress the world. Now, if you're trying to impress the world, that's your ego out there. But if you are literally opening to this energy of divine love and light and opening yourself, it will express through you. So my beloved Karen Drucker wrote a song, and Jack's going to play for it. And I'm going to give you the choreography. Stand up, because we're going to put this prayer into your body. This is for you, Helen. And now we can call it Qi, we can call it light, we can call it love, or the Yang. So the first step is the Lumina Di, the light of God. We connect with it, and we bring it down. I'll give you the choreography, and then Jack will play the song. And this is I Am So Blessed. We bring in this light right into our hearts. Then we take the Lumina Natura, the nature. The second, I Am So Blessed. You bring them together. The Lumina Di, the Lumina Natura. The third is I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful.
For all that I know.
See, he forgets. I'm grateful. This is the only choreography. Right hand on top, lower hand on bottom. Grateful for all that I have. Oh, you're creating a container now for light and love, Miss Helen. I am so blessed. You take it up to the universe, even get more of it. I am so blessed. You bring it deep into your heart, claiming it as your own expression, and then you give thanks by bowing. I am so grateful. That embodies it. And then I am so blessed. You give it out to the world. Now, doesn't that feel fun? So, Jack, when you're ready, we're going to do a prayer with our body and bring in the light and the love and give it to the world. And when two or more are gathered in this light, it potentiates itself in the world. This is the work of the alchemy. You ready, Jack?
Always ready.
He's always ready.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
You're bringing it in.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am
Give it out. Yes.
I am so blessed.
You're getting used to it now, aren't you?
I am so blessed. I am so grateful.
A container for light and love.
I am so blessed.
Drink it in.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful.
Receive it. Give it out now.
I am so blessed.
One more time.
So blessed.
I think it's silent now.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Now notice that silence after the end of the song. And when you get those glimpses of silence, you know, that's the greatest gift the universe has ever given any of us, is silence. When I'm walking in nature, I find myself chanting, "Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know." And then you can be seated. You know, it is said that stillness is the language of God and everything else is a poor translation. So could we cultivate a mind and a heart that are still and peaceful and learn to live from the deep? When I come to these experiences of Circle of Love gathering, the deep is always called upon to emerge from within. You know, Emerson says, deep calling upon deep always responds. So we do that at these events, and I'm always amazed at what reveals itself. You begin to realize, Jack sang the song, "Everything is holy now." And you know, I shared with you, unless we see this planet as sacred and holy, there's dicey things going on the planet. It's imperative right now that we bring this consciousness of oneness, that it's all you. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson. He shocked me on my Zen calendar the other week because he kind of lives in me. And he said on my Zen calendar just last week, he says, the infallible mark of wisdom in this lifetime is when you can see the miraculous in the common. It was Meister Eckhart that said, he who can see God in the smallest of things is better than seeing an angel. So could we see that everything is holy, everything is sacred, and it's coming to be recognized? It says in the Quran, "Am I not your Lord?" That could be the spider in the web. Yes, we witness you. We were sharing in our beautiful sharing this morning. People are so grateful for that remembering of who I am. I am remembering who I am. And even in the Quran, it says, when you remember the beloved remembers you. So what if it's just about I'm remembering that I am this beautiful source of light. I am the journey of light, as Hazrat Inayat Khan says, and I am the goal of light and love. And then you hear Bernie Siegel says, love is the work of the soul. And then you hear Ram Dass asking, are you living from the soul or are you living from your personality? And then you hear Gary Zukav says, put the personality in service to the soul and you will be living a soul-filled life. And what we are is, we're not a body with a soul, we're an eternal soul with this temporary thing called a body. Well, that's a whole different shift of perception, isn't it? Well, you're an eternal soul, Miss Lisa. Well, you were never born and never die. You're an eternal soul. Well, can you live from that? Yes, Brett, we can. Thank you so much. And then, you know, I'm an inlet and an outlet, as Emerson said, for God's grace. So how does God's grace show up in your life? You know, it shows up when you meet a girl that's singing in the chorus at Circle of Love 20 years ago, and you meet a musician there, and all the powers that be, the gods from Mount Olympus, they kind of fall away, and the chorus girl and the chorus boy, we all come up and, I know. I say that I suffer from the Ruby Keeler syndrome. Anybody see the old movie, 42nd Street? Ruby Keeler was in the chorus line, and Bibi Daniels, whoever she was, she broke her ankle and she couldn't go on. So the director of the musical goes to little Ruby Keeler and he says, listen, he says, you're going to have to go out there as the understudy, and we're all dependent on you. He says, this musical is going to fail or succeed. And so, okay. And so little Ruby Keeler goes out there and she dances her ass off. And of course, 42nd Street was a success. I suffered from that same syndrome. They pull you out of the chorus line, say, go up there. And then what you realize is that you're not the doer. Something shows up when it needs to, and it expresses. And what is it? It's the light. It's the love. And you didn't have anything to do with it. You just said, yes, this life belongs to you. Use it as you will. So we're in this relationship with the beloved. And when I found Rumi at a mature stage in my ministry, maybe 20 years, 15 years into it, I realized I was doing a ministry from the head. I wasn't doing this organic ministry from this place. And so once I started tuning into that love, it's an annihilating force, as Rumi says. And he says, all swimming in the ocean of love ends in drowning. And that just went right into my heart. What does that mean? That's not a violent statement. That means when you open to this field of love, you're no longer separate from it. There's no longer David and the love. There's just the love. And then you hear Rumi using a metaphor. Oh, drop, give it up. The drop for the ocean. Oh, to be wooed by the ocean. The drop for the ocean. And so you think, am I going to identify as that separate little self, a wave on the ocean of life, being another little wave? Or am I going to know that I am the very chi of the universe? Well, that's kind of a big statement, Miss Helen. There is no Helen, there's only the chi, and you're in service to the chi? Well, that's a pretty big challenge right there. Can you be the love that knows no other? Can you serve the love that knows no other? Can you not make it about you? And then you go and study with the Sufis and you're having this breakthrough and your heart's breaking wide open and they say, it's not about you. It's never been about you. Because there really is no you that's separate from that. And of course, at the time, I was building the best me I could possibly, I'm a religious science, manifest, succeed, achieve, goals, dreams. There's no you, it's not about you. And of course, that's like a cosmic 2x4. And then he says, when you serve the love serves you. When you serve this universal presence, it serves you because it's what you are. It's the sat that we talked about. It's the source journeying to its goal, and you are the source, you are the journey, and you are the goal. You are the seed, you are the sower, and you are the soil. It's all you. And then you find yourself seeing life differently. As I shared with you, I had a little spider in my web on the gates of my garden, and it was a huge web and this big old spider. And I knew if I opened the web, it would go. And so for days I would go and talk to her. Her name, I called her Charlotte, because I read Charlotte's Web. And I was just anticipating the day, you know how the mind wants to conclude and make all kinds of narratives around everything. And so I thought she's waiting for that male spider to kill, wrap a cocoon, lay her eggs, and eat them. You know, what kind of a sick idea is that? Because that's what I think of the spiders. And none of that ever happened. She just sat there and was in her Zen place for a whole week. And then one day, we never went through that gate. She was gone. Where are you, Charlotte? Oh, Charlotte. And I had been entangled with a silly spider, but I realized she was telling me to slow down, Lisa, and to stop. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. You know. And then what if you could learn that life is a mute gospel, and it's trying to teach us how to be in this experience that we all share. You can either make life a challenge, or you can make it a beautiful adventure. I think my very first metaphysical message was when I was 21. My heart was broken. The first relationship ended. I left college. I'm in Europe all by myself. And this young man, his name was Sun, he said, a happy person will see beauty in the same place that an unhappy person sees ugliness. And at that time, I was seeing ugliness. I was in my dark place group. My heart was broken. A happy person will see beauty, which is what your name means, in the same place that an unhappy person sees ugliness. And then he said, he's 20 years old. He said, I am beautiful. You are beautiful. The whole existing universe is beautiful. He says, ugliness is a manifestation of unhappiness. And at 20 years old, 21, I'm crying. I'm getting my first message. Am I going to choose to see this life? And then, because the relationship had ended and I was in that free fall, and isn't it great to be in free fall because you get to discover yourself? And then I heard Victor Hugo that said, to be like the bird, who pausing for a while on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, yet she sings knowing she hath wings. And I was like that bird on boughs too slight, and they had fallen away, and something within me, that something, rose to the occasion, and I could then have a renaissance, a resurrection. And that's what resurrection means. In fact, Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says, we're here to have our own resurrection, to give birth to that new order of the universal Christ. I love this idea of growing up in the Christian tradition. It's never been about Jesus. It's always been about the Christ. And it's time for the universal Christ to reveal itself here on planet, and that's you and me. You can call it whatever you want to call it, the Buddha consciousness. You can call it Brahman, which is the one, Illumina Dei, and the Atman, which is the soul of creation, are one. And then you realize that all these traditions are saying the same thing. They're all bringing us back to this awareness that the energy of light and love wants to reveal itself. How are you going to let it happen? I was telling Helen that when I studied with the Inca, I love studying with the indigenous people. They say things like, and they always kind of take your belief system away. And we need to get rid of the belief system and go into this deep gnosis. And they say there's not negative energy and positive energy. They say there's heavier energy and there's lighter energy, And so they say what they do in the Inca tradition, they say, bring in the Sami, the lighter energy that sets you free. It's not filled with a story and a conclusion and your judgments and all that. BS, belief system. Bring in the Sami, and then the Hucha is your heavy stuff. Oh, it's your bitterness, your judgments, your resentment you carry it around. Anybody know anybody with Hucha? And in the Inca tradition, you'll love this, Helen, they say, give the Hucha to the mother. She loves your Hucha. So you go to a tree and you say, here, take my hucha. You go to the earth, garden in the ground, take my hucha. You know, the mother loves your hucha. And then where's your hucha? Well, you gave it away, I guess, to the mother. And then you know you're embraced by something. I love that you did held in the hands of grace. Because when I was studying with the Sufis, they said one sentence that just broke my heart wide open. The sentence was, do you know how much you're loved? And in that holy instant, I felt this quantum love just burst my heart wide open. And I went, oh, I don't think I can take this because this quantum love is just too much. But once your heart's been broken open, it can never go back to that closed heart. And I've shared with so many people, the broken heart is the open heart. So when our heart breaks open, and of course, last night when we did our Teze, and it was in divine order, Lisa read a beautiful statement from beloved Etika. I always hear, see me here, see me there, see me everywhere. And then she sang a Rumi song that even intensified it. And before you knew it, my heart was shaking. And I didn't know what to do with it. And the voice within just said, let it shake, let it open. Because this is how the alchemy works. It takes you into itself and it transforms you. And someone said, well, it's painful. It hurts. And I said, well, that's why there's the ow in growth. Isn't that kind of funny? So in order to grow, we do have to experience a certain discomfort sometimes. As my beloved teacher, Adyashanti, says, you're dismantling our egoic self. He says, you can't create a healthy egoic self. You got to kind of dismantle it so that it's not running the show. And then trust in the uncertainty of this emerging evolution, which is taking place within us. We're the leading edge. My very first Sufi thing was called Lover and Beloved, and they closed it with the Hopi prophecy at the end from the indigenous people. And that prophecy has changed my life. And basically the prophecy of the Hopis, Hopi Indians, very spiritual people, they say the day of the lone wolf is over. It's not about you manifesting or getting, and it's not about your needs being met. Nah, the day of the lone wolf is over. And they say, we are all moving down this river of life that's trying to evolve and grow and transform itself. Observe who's in the river with you. Observe who's standing on the shoreline. They say, remember, this is a prophecy. Keep your head above water. Don't look back. Look forward. And they say, above all, at this stage of our evolution, we cannot afford to take anything personally. Remember, it's not about you. And then they say, you are the ones that we've been waiting for. Well, I think that means that we're the ones, Lisa. The universe is waiting for crazy people to step in the ocean of transformation and light. It's not about the individual, it's about the collective. Could we be in service to that something that's greater? And then just witness how it uses us. I've been witnessing how this transformative thing has drawn to me, my beloveds. You're all my beloveds. Remember, I shared with them, I live by that simple principle that divine love brings together and maintains together those who belong together. You know, when I'm in relationship counseling and the husband and wife maybe are having issues, I'll share that with them. And then I ask them the question, can you trust divine love in this marriage and not yourself? Well, these are my expectations, my attachments, and my resistance. No, it's not about you. Can you trust that divine love do you believe that divine love brought you together? And it's maintaining you? Can then you trust that will assist you in assuming the consciousness that's required to take the next step in mindful awareness that we're here serving something bigger? And then life gets so precious because divine love brought you, Lisa with a Y, into my life. You're an only child, but you're not alone anymore. You found a community that loves you and accepts you. What if that's what it's all about? We're all here for each other, to walk each other home, as Rumi said. I'm here to walk you home. You're here to walk me home. We're here to create a sense of intimacy with one another. And because we're not separate. And so when I might be weak and falling apart, my heart shaking like a leaf, I went up to Natalia. I said, my heart needs to be hugged. And she just hugged my heart because it was shaking. And you know, my heart used to shake a lot when I was doing my dances with the beloved. I'd find myself having the Kundalini, and I'd study with Sadhguru, and he's sitting there waking the thing that couldn't think is the thing that goes up the spine. And so I'm with all these, I'm with Sadhguru. I'm on this, I've had so many passes, and people are going like this. They're all, and I'm walking into the room, and they're in the back of the room. And that's the Kundalini. It's called the Isha Foundation. So we're here to, and so I think if I'm going to succeed, I got to get that thing going up. And so when it, when that energy started moving, it got kind of stuck in my heart, and it would just shake my heart. So I thought this is the Kundalini, but you know what it really was? It was my heart giving me the message that I had a blockage. And I only knew that when I was wheeled down on the gurney and my heart was doing this. And it said to me, I've been giving you this message for 10 years and you've been calling it Kundalini energy. I mean, listen, when your body's giving you a message, and I said, I am so sorry. I will listen to you from now on. When you start to shake, I'm going to go say, hold my heart, because it's speaking to me. And when you open it, you can't close it again. And then there's a sensitivity that's so grace-filled and so beautiful. I'm going to close with something that's really sacred to me. There are no accidents. And Divine Love brought a poet to Huntsville, Alabama. And he, one evening, I think it was a Friday night, he did a poetry reading. And he'd never, he's an engineer writing poetry. And one of his poems just blew me away. And I said to him, this is exquisite. The next thing I know, in the mail, I get a book. And he's written this book called The Hive. It's a book we read for its honey. Get the metaphor. Because he likens this universal divine presence to a bee. And he dedicates the book to me. He said, I never would have written this had you not been so touched by this poem that he wrote. So I'm going to share this with all of you because it's sacred to me. And I want you to take it into your heart. Remember, Jesus said, I speak and they do not understand. So he would speak in metaphor. He would speak in parable. And this is a parable that will assist us. And it's kind of a play on the story of creation. And the very first words of the Bible are in the beginning, God. So all there is this one presence. And darkness was on the face of the earth. That's the face of God. And God said, let there be light. And the word he used was Shekinah. That's the light within. Now that's how it starts. And then, of course, we know, and then God did this and said, that is good and that is very good. So here's his take on the story of creation in such a sweet way. The universe is a bee, a small golden thing hovering in the midst of a great darkness, as if straining to let there be light. Flickering wings throwing off sparks. The universe is a bee, and each eye of the bee is a bee. And each wing of the bee, it is a bee of bees. Each bee the same, with bees for eyes and bees for wings, and so on. Each spark of light that flies from its bee wings is a bee of light. It's a river of light. It's a river of bees. There are bees hidden in the bees, and bees hidden in the honey. Honey hidden in the bees, hiding in the honey, and hiding in the bees. What is hiding in you to be revealed that's sacred? He says the bee, one whole page, is a mind serene. Well, I think we need to take that one in a second time, Miss Lisa. The bee is a mind serene. Everything is here for our transformation. The hum you hear now is the bee at the center of everything. Can we get a hum out of you? Hum. At the center of everything. In the beginning, night opened a window and let out its own light, and it called it a bee. Nothing was made that was made without the bee. You see how playful you can get with the universe? And the bee said, let there be hives. And there were hives. I wonder how your Pentecostal preacher family would think of it. Oh, he's shaking his hand. And there were hives, and the bees saw that they were good and very good. Well, I think that's a take on the original story. What do you think, Natalia? There are bees in the mountains, among the cliffs, hives hidden in the trees, and hives hidden in the ground, and in the rocky places, and in the walls. There was honey hidden in the mountains, and among the caves, hidden in the ground, and in many places. Do you realize that this beloved presence is everywhere, he's saying? It's in the rocks, it's in the trees, it's in the dirt, it's in my tears, and the bee is a mind that moves in beauty. I think we'll say that one for you, Rube. The bee is a mind that moves in beauty. It's all beautiful. The universe is a bee, we're coming down, that hovers above that dark flower, taking what it is given and turning it into light. We get to drink from the darkness and make light out of it. make honey out of it. Oh, I like this way of thinking, Lisa. I don't feel shame and judgment. I'm kind of playful. My little kid likes this. Oh, bee of the universe, give us your light, necessary to find your dark honey. Oh, bee of the universe, give us your light to assist us in what's necessary to find that dark honey of the one life. So shall I do a little closing treatment, Miss Lisa?
No, we're going to do some.
Okay, well, anyway, so I'm going to personally invite all of you in SoulCall world to come to our next Circle of Love gathering. It's a transformational event, and you're all invited. This has been one of the best experiences of my long life, and we're here to serve that love. So thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, you kept hearing him refer to, you're getting all these thank yous. Thank you, Joy. Kept saying, Natalia, Natalia, she really is here. Can you see her? Hi. How happy are we about that? Yesterday we did something down in the sanctuary space called the circle sing. And, you know, there's no quicker way to raise your vibration than to sing. You know, you can just get your body cavity vibrating or something. So we're going to do a song. It's not one of our songs. It's from the Wood Brothers, but we put it on our CD. And it's called Sing About It.
If you get worried,
What you got to do is sing.
if you get worried,
What you ought to do is sing.
if you get worried,
What you got to do is sing.
sing out your troubles and just
Yeah.
And if you get lost, where am I going?
What you ought to do is sing.
If you get lost,
What you ought to do is sing.
if you get
That's
lost,
what you ought to do is sing. Sing about your troubles and just like that. Sing about your troubles and just like that.
sing about
Joy. Sing about love.
knowing the last.
Sing about your troubles.
Just my past, just my past. And if you get broken,
What you ought to do is sing.
if you get broken,
What you ought to do is sing.
if you get
Broken,
broken,
what you ought to do is sing. Sing about your troubles and just like that. Sing about your troubles and just like that. Yeah, sing about joy. And sing about love, hope and laugh. Sing about your troubles, just like that. Just like past. Just like past. Just like past. Thank you. We're going to bring this mandala. It is mandala time. I want to show you all out there in SoulCall land what we created here. Come on, this
One of you guys, Kathy.
right here. No, it's everybody's.
It's everybody. It's beautiful.
Okay, let's.
Isn't that exquisite?
So we Kathy, this is Kathy Roush, the mandala David. And this is Michael, who's spent a lot of time making this. Yes. So, want to say something real quick? Like, yes, we're running out of time.
All right, what a joy it is to help this incredible group come together as one with each individual little piece of art that people contribute. It's beautiful. Every time, it's just incredible. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Kathy. All right. So, we want to thank you all for joining us this this morning. Thank you for sharing your art. And a couple of announcements we've got coming up. I'm so happy to say, mark your calendars, but tickets are now on sale for Jazz Up the Holidays. It's going to be our 19th anniversary celebration. And yes, Virginia, there will be a Santa Claus for you if you wanted to live stream and you couldn't be here in person. We will be doing the live stream from the McConnell Arts Center here in Columbus, Ohio. And so you're going to go to soulcallglobal.org. You're going to find that link, and you can purchase tickets for in-person and online. So hope to see you there. Tell your friends if you live here. We got to sell that place out to help us with our SoulCall Santa event. It sounds like it's coming up so soon, but November 30th, it's a Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. It sounds like it's coming up quickly, because it is. There's no mistake about that. So, Circle of Love Gathering just happened, but we're going to be planning one for next year sometime. This coming Wednesday, the 19th, 7 p.m., right here at the Dempsey Event Center, 123 Hyatt's Road. We make it as simple as 123 for you to join us for kirtan, chanting. You know, if you want to meditate in a group, but you feel like it's too much in the silence, we chant and get a mantra going, and then you can just drop into the silence together. Right here, donations are welcome, but your consciousness, your presence is what matters the most, because it helps us to shift the energy of the planet. Now we've got some lyric sheets for you too, so like I said, you can sing if you want to. I know I'm forgetting things. What am I forgetting? Oh, you watched Helen Yee do Qigong. I was wondering if you're channeling David's dog and who's doing Qigong. Are you a Qigong pet? I don't know. Come on, wait for it. And then it'll all work, but you gotta keep trying them. You'll find those ones that work. That's what stand-up's all about. But Helen Yee has a video, a Qigong video, that is now available. You've been waiting for it since July. You can get it at her website, helenhyee.com. Qigong. And start that beautiful practice. Once again, I want to thank David Leonard for being with us. I want to thank Jack Fowler, Natalia Zimmerman, Kathy Rush. I want to thank Karen Berman, and Jesse Powers was here with us yesterday, and Adam for the beautiful flowers you can see around here, and everyone who participated in any way with making this event happen. Let's hear it one more time. So we thank you for joining us wherever you are, and know that whatever is going on in your life and wherever you are, you want to say it with me, always remember, you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.